Hi, and welcome to Hometown Cooking with Mary Ann. Today we are going to make a carrot cake jam slash preserve, and I'll tell you what the difference is. Okay, first thing you want to do is make sure your hands are clean. Go wash your hands. The recipe calls for 6 8-ounce jars. That's a half a pint. So I usually get another extra jar. So I have 7 half-pint jars in boiling water. I am using my canner, my pressure canner, but I took the rubber seal out, and we're just going to use it because it's convenient. My water canner is way too big for my glass stove. Okay, first thing we have here is 6.5 cups of sugar, white sugar. I have a can, and this is what I'm using, crushed pineapple. It is a 20 ounce. It's supposed to be a cup and 3/4 of pineapple. It comes about 2 cups. And juice and all. Okay. I have pears chopped. I have them chopped kind of big, maybe about 1 inch, because I don't want to lose them when I'm cooking them. This is going to cook for about 20 minutes plus. And that's about the size of each one. It was 2 of them. Alright, now I have 1.5 cups of shredded carrots. I've already tried the packaged shredded carrots, and they're too thick. They don't cook into the jam, and I'm not happy with it. See, if you shred them yourself with a rough cut, I use a mandolin, and I use that for cutting them. Okay, that's 1.5 cups. Okay, now we have 1.5 teaspoons cinnamon. I have 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg, ground nutmeg. I ground it myself with the fresh. If you have just a container, use that. Now, it calls for cloves. I do not like cloves. Nobody in my house likes cloves, and we had a bad run-in with cloves when I pickled my beets. Package of pectin. That would be 6 tablespoons of pectin. 3 tablespoons of lemon juice, and that is the bottled lemon juice. And all this makes a jam. What makes a preserve is, I'm trying for the first time, is finely chopped, 1/4 cup of finely chopped pecans. Okay. Now, I've got my jar simmering. I've got my lids in warm water because I like to, and they tell you you don't have to, but I do. And I have my lids already. Now, we're going over to the stove, and we're going to assemble everything. Okay, we're going to put the pineapple in. The pears. My carrots. Lemon juice. Nutmeg, cinnamon, and if you were using cloves, you would put 1/2 teaspoon of cloves in. Okay, let's just mix this all up. I'm going to put the heat on to high. And you're going to need a lid because this is going to cover after it comes to a boil. Okay. A lot less noisy. Now, I have a glass top stove, so banging it isn't the best thing you can do for it. In this pot on the side, I have my ladle in there for a little bit. I'm going to put it on clean paper towels. And I'm going to reach in and grab my funnel. Everything is all as clean as you can get it. Or keep it. Now I'm going to let it sit till it comes to a boil. Have hot pads ready, because once this is finished, we're going to let it cook for about 20 minutes, but it's going to be out before we put the pectin in. Stir it up. Let it come to a boil for a minute. Now we have to cook that down. I'm looking at it, and I'm going to put a little bit more cinnamon in. I got about a half a teaspoon of cinnamon in there because I want that extra flavor since we're not putting cloves in here. Okay. Ooh, that smells good. It's a hard boil. We're turning it down to, I would say, about 5. Halfway. And we're going to put a lid on. Keep your eye on it. I got about 4.5. Keep your eye on it and occasionally stir for 20 minutes, and then we'll check it out. Okay, let's see what we have. Okay, there you go. And it's fork tender. We can do away with the lid. Now we're going to take this off and put it over to the side. Make sure you have a hot pad so that you don't burn your counter. Okay, everything is good. All right, now what we're going to do is get my 6 tablespoons or a package of pectin. And I'm going to see if I need a whisk. We'll see if we need it. I can't see whisking it. I'm just going to get everything in there. You know what? I think I'll just use my spoon. Yeah, I don't need this. Okay. And mix it in there real well. Okay, now we're going back over to the stove. Back on the stove. We're going to bring the heat up. We're going to bring it to a boil. Now's the time you want to get your sugar ready. We're going to, oh, I'm sure it's melted already because it's hot. But got to get that pectin melted. I like this better. It sounds noisy. It's coming up to boil again. It's fast. Don't overcook this. Makes 20 minutes would be all I would do when you're simmering with the lid on. You don't want the pears to be mush. Okay, we're going to bring this up to a boil. And it's coming up to a boil again. Now what we're going to do is pour the sugar in all at one time. 6.5 cups. Okay, and we're going to get it all mixed together. Now, actually what we did was just make sure the vegetables and the fruits were tender. this. You don't want to burn this. I'm going to have to get my spoon because this isn't heavy enough. Okay. I'm going to bring it down a little bit. Okay. Don't want to burn it. Oh, there we go. I'm going to bring this up to a boil again. There we go. Now, so not stopping. We're going to hit the timer for 1 minute. And we're going to stir. I'm going to bring it down a wee bit so it doesn't fly all over the place. Electric stove, you have to remember, you have to be cautious with it. You can turn your heat off. Actually, I probably could turn it off now because it stays hot. It'll boil for a minute. And never turn your back on what you're doing. It can boil over in a second. And actually, I am turning it off and I'm going to let it finish boiling. Okay, and we're done. Going right over to our hot pads so that we don't burn our counter. All right, we're going to need a bowl to debubble. I mean, to debubble. To skim it. Now, this is what makes a jam a conserve. And believe it or not, I just learned that today. We have a 1/4 cup of pecans, chopped pecans. Put them in. You don't have to. You can just leave it as it is. And you stir it around and you have a conserve. And I've made this a couple times. And I think I'm going to like it very much with the nuts. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to have to take the foam off. Very, very carefully, please. This will send you to the emergency room. Okay, now what you do is you push it to the edge. Okay. And I've seen this on other channels doing this, but I have never seen them put the cans in there. Okay. Might lose a couple, it's okay. You don't have to get it all off. It'll make it look really nice, but when you do can this jam, conserve, the foam stays on the top, so it doesn't matter if it bothers you when you open it. You just mix it together. But I decided today I'm going to go by recipe. You're not taking too much off. There you go. All right. Absolutely beautiful. Let me see. Try it one more time and we're good to go. There. I think that's fine. All right, now let me go set up so we can, and we'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I have my little setup. I have my jam conserve. I have my vinegar, paper towels, lids, rims, and we're ready to go. The jar's been sitting in the hot boiling water. Okay, now you see you have the pears. Try to get a good amount in. Fill it up with liquid. 1/4 inch from the top. Okay. And we're going to fill all these jars up. It's not always easy to get everything even. I can take that off. I don't need that till I start wiping them. Okay, I'll show you what you do. It should be a 1/4 inch from the top. And this is handy because it has a measurement on there. And a 1/4 inch would be here. And you put it there, and now you got a 1/4 inch all the way around. So as long as the bottom touches a little bit, give or take, but never more than like a tiny little smidgen. Okay, now my daughter bought these at a novelty store, kitchen store, and I didn't know what it was until I saw somebody working with it. They are to hold your jars. Okay, we're going to wipe it very well so that you can get a really good seal. And what I like to do is run my finger around it, so to make sure it's not sticky. Put your lid on and your ring, and there you go. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Let's take it off again. I forgot to debubble. You have to get the bubbles out because there's solids in here. Okay. Now we'll do that and we'll re-clean it. No harm. Okay. All right. Now let's go back and clean it off again. And I want a different lid because that might be dirty on the rim. And I don't want to chance it because I did a lot of cooking here. Okay. But don't forget to debubble. It's easier to do. Okay. Now we got it. All right. There you go. It's all debubbled. I'm going to put this over here till I'm ready to put them in a pot. And then we'll be back and I'll show you what they all look like, all nestled along and over there. Now, it should be 1 inch to 2 inches. It's about 2 inches. Just as long as they're covered and it's ready to go. I'm going to crank it up to high. Wait till it starts bubbling up. Now, as you see, this is a pressure cooker. I'm not going to use the gauge. I'm not going to vent it. I'm not going to do anything. I have the the rubber seal out. And it's just going to be used as a water bath. You don't do that when you have meat, beans, or something that has to be pressure cooked. The only reason I'm doing this is because it's not necessary. Alright. Now I'm going to put the lid on. And I'm going to wait till I hear it bubbling up because you can see that it's starting to boil. And I'm going to, for 10 minutes, this is going to cook. When I hear it boiling, I'm going to put my timer on for 12 minutes. Because when I hear it boiling, I'm going to turn my heat down to about 5 or 6. Because it's got to be a gentle boil when you do this or you're going to break them, the jars. So I'll wait until it boils. I can hear it now. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to bring it down a little bit. I'm going to put it on 6. And it's going to be in there for 10 minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to clean up my mess, get the leftovers, and put it in a little bowl so everybody can try it. So it's been sitting here probably about 6 or 7 minutes. And try not to grab it by the lid. Don't tip it. And there you go. The water will evaporate. Now what I have here is a cookie sheet, a towel, and a paper towel overlapped. You don't want to put it on anything cold. And next one. It's so beautiful. The little bit I had in the bowl's absolutely gone. It doesn't take long. And you'll be hearing it pop soon. The lids will pop shut. And it did take 7 jars. I think it's because I had a little bit extra of the, well, I don't know, maybe it's because I had it cut big, the pears. Now what I like to do when you have to do it quickly, disregard the pan back here, just give it a quick twist, make sure they're tight. That's it. 7 half pints of carrot jam or conserves because we put the nuts in it. That's it. Thank you for coming into my kitchen. I hope you learned a little something. And I really do wish you would try this. It's easy. You'll always have it for a while. And I want to wish you a good night and tell you I love you and come back to my kitchen next time.